Good evening. Well, good morning, folks. I think it is 15 after 2 in the morning back here in Michigan. And once again, I'm up because I took a big long nap, 3 or 4 hour nap this afternoon, and didn't wake up until 8 o'clock tonight. So I'm up. Procrastinating on doing my video. I'd like to share with you tonight. I've always been a person that didn't do everything normal, whatever normal is supposed to be. I went over to Vietnam and I was writing to a bunch of girls, but when I left to go over there, I had a girlfriend. But if any of you have ever heard of a guy named Jody, he took my girlfriend while I was gone. At least she wanted to know if she could casual date. She was in college. And, for me, if she's my woman, she's my woman. Why does she want to date? So I set her free. I said, if you want me, you want me. If you don't, I guess that's the way it is. Anyway, so I wrote to some girls and I was going to go see them when I got home. Well, when I got home, I ended up coming home and it was a month or two before I got to go home after I came home. Came home in July, I think it was. My ETS date was the 6th of September. Finally got out the 10th. But it was in 1968. And I'd gone to camp meeting, and I've shared part of this story with you before, I can't remember. But anyway, we had casually kind of dated a little bit, but we were always good friends. She was the neighbor girl. Her folks moved in and out. They were, in towns nearby, and then they'd be back. Her dad was a logger, and he followed the work. And they had moved to Orleans. And I came back from Vietnam, and I hitchhiked up there to be up there at the denomination's camp meeting, which was out in the Redwoods. I mean, this camp meeting had been held for years, right in the biggest redwoods you make. There were those big redwood trees all around they just met out in the open, and anyway, it was just a beautiful place, and her grandfather had cooked there for years and years. And he had talked her into coming to camp meeting to help him in the cookhouse. Well, we'd always been good friends and shared a lot back and forth. And so one evening we were walking around, and she told me she'd been a bad girl. She was 7 months pregnant. She told me that because she figured, it would scare me off and I wouldn't, get interested. Well, it was just the opposite. She was a beautiful girl. And we'd always been good friends, and I had kind of a crush on her. And, and I knew her family. Her family had the same kind of background, sawmill, woods. And so I asked her, one night we were out and we were sitting in my car down in the parking lot. And I asked her, what would you think if I asked you to marry me? What would you say? And she said, well, I guess I'd have to say I'll think about it. And I said, well, think about it. So anyway, we were we did things different. We got started going together and planned to get married in December after the baby was born in the first part of November. And anyway, her uncle, who's a minister, was going to marry us. Yeah, I was 21 at the time. And anyway, the pastor's wife there happened to work at the hospital, religious hospital. And she said that the sisters there give unwed mothers a hard time. And she didn't want to see Diane have to go through that. So they suggested that we go ahead and get married just quietly in his office so that she could go into the hospital with my name. And that way she wouldn't be an unwed mother. So we did that. And then we had the wedding later. So I did everything different, and that's probably why I was brave enough to do the sand. I'm not going to go on about it, but, when I finally decided to get married again, I'd had a girlfriend and it didn't work out. Then I found Glenda. I've been looking for her. I knew her as a kid. Cute little platinum blonde thing. And wondered what happened to her. And I saw her name on Facebook. We talked once or twice. And so I told her right off the bat, I'm looking at you as a possibility of marrying you. So we decided, it was only about the fourth day, or anyway, it was the 1st of April, we decided that we'd go ahead and get married. We both forgot to say April Fools. So here we are today. The first marriage lasted 39 plus years until she passed away of cancer. This marriage is going to be 9 years in a month or so. So it works for me. Anyway, that's just the way I do things. And not everybody does it that way. But I've enjoyed life and had a good life. That's kind of the way I got into internet marketing. Just saw it and it looked good, decided to do it. So anyway, I forgot to say, Happy Valentine's Day, even though it's past a couple hours. Well, out west, it's still Happy Valentine's Day. But back here in Michigan, Valentine's Day is history. So I hope you had a good time with your sweetheart. If you don't have a sweetheart, hopefully you have one on the line, or maybe you just don't think you need one of those again. But anyway, good night for tonight. Click the button below and join me on this fantastic journey with the Super Affiliate Network. I guarantee you, if you do it, and you do it with eagerness, and you do it the way they say, you will not be sorry. Good night. Click the button. Bye.